Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here in the Red Sox Racing Series. Back here live from Barcelona, set to get this race underway here in, I don't even know where this track actually is. I'm having, I think that was just somebody blinking. Anyway, here from Barcelona, ready for tonight's race, what should be a pretty good one. I was actually trying to find my the full broadcast thing for tonight. Here we go. Barcelona 2.93 mile track here in Spain is where we are. Joined with me in the booth, none other than Mr. Todd Chase himself. Todd, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. The lag from the virtual plane ride all the way out here has been brutal.
You got plane
But
lag? What do they call
for
it? Jet
sure.
lag?
Jet lag, yep.
Todd's got jet lag. Oh,
Yep.
gosh. That's funny. Barcelona, Todd, a track that you're not used to because you actually just bought this track.
Yeah.
Pretty cool place. What's your first initial thoughts of it?
I haven't seen a real full lap, like, in a
Focus,
good
yeah.
connection. But from what I see, I mean, the place looks like it's pretty long and some parts pretty wide, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
13 turns, to be exact. One of the turns that I'm really kind of anxious for. It's going to be right through turn 4 or 5. Well, we'll say 3, 4, and 5 because it's a long sweeping right-hand turn in turn 3, then another little carousel in turn 4, followed by a short little turn 5. So that's going to be kind of fun to see how these guys react to that here for the Red Sox Racing Series. Race number 2, by the way, of the 6-week schedule here for these guys. So we're anxious to call this one. Let me know your thoughts. Who gets the win tonight here at Barcelona? Right now on top of the board it is, well, shouldn't be too surprised, Mr. Paul Gibson. David Shutt currently second, by the way, joined PG-13. Alex LaRose, Colin Weatherholt, and there is Mitch Heller, your top 5 here in this one.
I'm expecting Mitch Heller to have a really good run tonight.
Yeah, he kind of had he got the rough end last week, so hopefully kind of has a little bit better night. Ross Booth back in here as well. Good to see him. Looks like we got 26 drivers, I believe, taking in here. Good to see Joe Burchett. He's back in here tonight as well. Currently 12th right now, right in front of Mark Wilson. In the 83 Mercedes, I think Joe said he was driving tonight. Lamborghini, by the way, on top of the board with Paul Gibson. We got about 2 minutes or so left here in qualifying before, is this qualifying? Yeah, this is qualifying. Left here in qualifying before we start setting the grid up in this one. So we're going to hang over to the big screen because why not? Better now than forget about it like we did last week.
Do want to mention as well, if you are watching our broadcast, go ahead, snap a picture, send it to our Twitter account, and we will pull you up during the broadcast and shout you out and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so it is still practice right now, so you guys just stay tuned for some of qualifying, and we will cut back in here through practice. You guys will see the cars. You will not hear them, but you will see some of this. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll be back here momentarily. Welcome back here, guys. Sorry about that. We went live a little bit too early because I got confused what I was doing. Sometimes I'm stupid like that. Anyway, welcome back here. Adam Chapman with you in the booth. Todd Chase Jr. here once again. Todd qualifying underway right now. David Shutt, Paul Gibson, Colin Weatherholt, Holt, Justin Kirby, Mitch Heller, your top 5 here as we get set to go green in just a few moments. Todd, do you need that Discord up or no?
No. I'm just, even though I'm still having the issues I'm having, I'm just gonna go ahead and
all right. I just want to make sure
try to do the best I can. And like
fine.
I said,
we got you. No worries.
Well, we've got to sit down tonight and figure this stuff out.
So, they're looking at the board, Todd. Who you got liking? Who you like with this race right now? Of course, qualifying's still going on, but who do you like?
Right. I mean, I know I've already talked about Mitch Heller having a good run tonight. I mean, even look at Joe Burchett, first race this season, popping in here, and he's already inside the top 5, or top 10, I mean. So I look for him to be a force to be reckoned with tonight as well, but I believe my winner is going to be Colin Weatherholt tonight.
Yeah, Weatherholt's a really good pick. It's going to be hard to bet against David Shutt and Paul Gibson. Weatherholt's a good pick. Honestly, I'm going to go a little bit different. Who do I want? I think, Todd, honestly, where do we go? I think I'm going to go with Nikhil Kopker.
That's another good pick. I mean, we've seen Nikhil have really good runs here. I mean, maybe not. I mean, this is only week 2 of the 6-week European tour. But even last season, man, he had some really good races.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the schedule that we got coming up for these guys. Well, I'm trying to. Actually, it looks like for some reason it ain't showing me everything. But where do we go after this? Hockenheim. Ring. Hockenheim. And then we go to Spa, Twin Ring, Mortegi, Brands Hatch. Looking forward to, especially Spa. It's one of my favorite tracks to go to. Of course, we got the American Series coming up starting October 28th. Not sure what the tracks are going to be with that. For people wanting to know, by the way, this is a multi-car league. For example, of course, this is all GT3. So you got the Audi R8, the BMW M4, the Ferrari 488, the Ford GT3, the Lambo, the McLaren MP4, the Mercedes AMG, the Porsche GT3R. So there is a ton of cars that you can choose from. If anybody is interested, get in contact with them. Good league, Todd. This league's been around literally forever.
Yes, and I mean, I know I spoke on these guys a little bit. I believe it was last night. Yep. And like I'll say it again. I mean, this is a very good beginner league for you guys if you're interested in running some road stuff. I mean, not all these guys in here are beginners.
Yeah.
But they're very well spoken, and they know what they need to say to kind of help you get along without giving certain things away to you to make you a little bit better. So
I agree. This league, by the way, has been around for longer than 10 years now because I'm sitting here reading the bio, and I remember that was bio when I first started, so it's been like 12 years or so. One of the oldest leagues in all of iRacing, by the way. Probably, honestly, maybe the oldest league now. It's close. Of course, this league was founded by John Henry, the owner of the Boston Red Sox, and, of course, Rouse Fenway Racing, and God knows what else he owns. But now the league admins, Terry Dahl, Les Turner, they've been doing a fantastic job of keeping it going.
For sure.
Pretty cool. Let's see, who do we got? How much time we got? 40 seconds left here in qualifying. By the way, one cool thing about this league is, and this is what I really like about it, the races are short. They're only like 30 minutes long.
Right. So, I mean, how many laps are we looking at for this one tonight?
That's a good question. I'll know more here in just a few moments. It's about 1 minute 40 seconds a lap. So I'm going to say around 22 to 24. But I'll know more here in just a second, and it'll pop up on the screen for you guys as well. That is interesting to know about the estimate of laps of what we could run. But qualifying is coming to an end, and at the moment, it looks like David Shutt will be your pole sitter with a 148.06. And, of course, Chris Shieldsmith, we're watching him here just for a moment. A lot of these guys still get the opportunity to finish this lap that they're on and maybe try to jump up and take away a spot in this one. So.
Right, and I do want to mention one thing about this league too is at the end of every race, these guys can't just go ahead and disconnect.
Yeah.
They actually have to go all the way back around the racetrack and go into their pit stalls before they can even disconnect from the server. If they do not do that, I believe it's a 4-point penalty.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, staying on track as well, I believe they get a
point
bonus point for that.
If you don't get no X limit, you get a bonus point. So that's one of the cool things. And honestly, you know, that's one reason why we talk about pit stops being so big, especially in this league.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to make sure you take enough fuel to get to the end, and then a little bit extra after. So that's something that we're going to be watching here tonight in this one. Of course, I mentioned this track's like 2.68 miles long, so we'll see. David Shutt still on top of the board, qualifying, wrapping up. Like I said, we're watching Trent Brown in that PG-13. Todd, this is a team that continuing to be dominant, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, last week we had out of the top 10, 9 from PG-13 finished in there. So, I mean, PG-13 very well represented in this league.
Yeah, I'm watching Trent Brown. He's got something on the back. Says "Get well soon" at Brom. I'm not sure who Brom is, but there you go. I wanted to just point that out and show you guys. Of course, he's got the trackside logo on there as well. Pretty cool to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Wojciechowski out on track as well in the 944 car. Once again, 30 seconds left here in qualifying, and I think Mark might be about the only driver really left out on track that might have the opportunity to put down a lap. He may not even be able to put down his lap. He just may be out there getting some practice in. But 20 seconds remain. Looks like David Shutt will be your pole sitter, I believe. And yeah, Wojciechowski going to bring that car down pit road. So qualifying is over. We'll look at your starting grid up here in just 1 second. Here from Barcelona. And that noise that you hear, by the way, that is just letting everybody know that there's a car coming down pit lane. Just FYI. Alrighty, so it looks like, Todd, we were going to have about roughly 18 laps in this one. I said 22 to 24, so I was definitely off a little bit. But
right,
here is the starting lineup.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. David Shutt, Paul Gibson, Colin Weatherholt, Ross Booth back in here once again in the 6. Going to be starting P4. In P5, we got Nicole Copker, Mitch Heller, Justin Kirby, Matthew Gossi in P8. A little bit further back here in 9th, we got Mark Wilson, Chris Shieldsmith in the 26. Joe Burchett going to be starting in row number 6 alongside Trent Brown in the 7. Robert going to be starting in 13th. Terry Dog going to be starting in 14th. Mark Kudrowski, Roman Bakov, I believe is how you say his name. Probably not, but I butcher everything. Les Turner, Bill Palucky, John Kashuniak, Scott Hustad, Jim right there in 21st place. James Prostel Jr., one of my favorite guys in this league as well. Going to be starting in 22nd. Kevin Kyle, Ed Sutcliffe going to be starting right there as well. Alex LaRose back there in 25th. LaRose did not put down a practice lap. I'm interested. Chase Swafford also not putting down a qualifying lap, not a practice lap. Hopefully these guys grid up. We'll have to wait and see. But here we go, Todd, getting ready to roll.
Yeah, and you were talking about how this race only being 18 laps, that's a little bit shorter than it was last week, and these guys are definitely going to have to make one pit stop roughly about maybe halfway through, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see these guys try to take as less fuel as they possibly can, that they think that they would make it to the end. And I don't think they're going to take tires at all.
Yeah, that is one reason why.
As well.
That's one reason why practice in this league is so big, because you want to have an estimate of how long you can run with that fuel mileage that you're given. They all run a 35% max load, so you know that's why it's so big to know what your fuel load is and how many laps you can go on that fuel load.
Right, and you just hit the nail on the head here. About practice. Gosh. These guys, they don't just do practice just before the race. They actually throw up a practice session on Sundays and Tuesdays to help you get ready for tonight's race.
Yeah,
so
they do. I think they even test different setups that they're going to be running on each night to kind of get a better idea. But here we go. Pace car dropping down pit lane. in just a moment, and we will be set to go green here as we wait. By the way, Todd, it's pretty late. Lights are already on these cars. We may be seeing nighttime here.
Yep, we're still waiting. And
Still waiting.
still waiting.
And
Green flag is out in the air here at Barcelona.
somebody jumping out of line right there for third place. It looked like it could
Rewind.
have been. Trying to see who that is. It jumped out. Looked like Nicole Cochran jumping out, trying to take second away on that inside line. Going to turn when we go.
Wide for second here into turn one. That could create some problems. It looks like we made it
there they go.
now.
Big trouble here at Barcelona. Nicole Cochran. We got more cars going around up front. Multiple cars involved. Probably the biggest wreck we have seen in a very long time here in the Red Sox Racing Series.
Yeah, and another thing about that is this series does not run caution, so whatever happens, I mean, good luck with trying to catch up. I mean, right now, it looks like it's David Shutt and Paul Gibson, your top two, kind of pulling away from Colin Weatherholt, maybe, I believe.
Show the replay right now. Just multiple cars involved in this. I'll tell you, somebody came out on the other end. That was none other than Joe Burchett. When you talk about a close miss, by the way, Todd, we got that award. Remember that award we got tonight that we're going to be giving away. So we'll see. We may be calling it a close call award here tonight.
Yeah, you say that. I believe Mitch Heller was a part of that issue, or maybe he just had an issue with himself. As we look at Mitch Heller, I mean, the car's definitely got some damage. Not the way Mitch Heller wanted to start this one here at Barcelona.
Well, back in
Mitch
22nd
is running
now,
22nd.
Yeah, he is pretty devastated right now. That car is, I'm going to be honest, that car's toast. Wow.
Yep. I don't know how much longer he can run it with, with it handling.
Oh, he's going to wreck here again.
Yep.
Wow. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's just, and he's going to tow, it looks like. No, he's going to try to back it up and go. Wow.
But it is still David Shutt up on top of the board right now, leading by about, my ATVO says 1.1 seconds over Paul Gibson.
Yep, that's what I got. So, once again, we will be giving away our award here tonight, and I think we're going to do it again for the biggest mover, I believe. I forgot what we call it, the Broadcaster Spotlight Award. I can't really remember. Right now, the biggest mover would be James Prostell.
Kevin Kyle.
Nope, James Prostell up 10 spots. Then Kevin Kyle and Ed Sutcliffe all up 10 spots.
Yep, there you go.
There he is, James Prostell Jr. We talked about him. Running a very nice walk to end all-timers paint scheme. Cool to see that. Everything's spaced out early here, Todd, after that wreck.
Yeah, I did not expect it to go that quick, in this one. I mean, I expected a good battle between the top three, between David Shutt and Paul Gibson and Ross Booth.
Yeah, we've seen one heck of a race last week between them guys, or between some of our top three guys. And right now it's going to be interesting to see what happens as this race unfolds, I guess we could say.
Yeah, and I mean, even though Paul Gibson is about a second behind our leader, David Shutt, I mean, don't count him out just yet. I want to say he's just kind of taking his time around here until we get to the mark where he's got to come down pit road, and then from there he'll definitely turn it back on.
By the way, it's a broadcaster focused season award, and it could be whatever we want to call it for that night. Pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, it's something different that we hadn't started until last week here, so. So while we're watching David Shutt lead the field around, I do want to mention our broadcast schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow night we will be at Michigan International Speedway for the Midnight Thunder Series from Sim 500. I believe we will go live at
11:50.
11:50-ish.
Yeah, 11:50 will be live. We won't be talking until 11:55, but
Right. So, I mean, if you're interested in seeing some good truck series racing, I believe it was Trey Edson who picked up the win last
yeah,
week.
honestly, if he gets a top 3 finish or even a top 5 finish, that season's a lot for him.
Right. No broadcast on Saturday. And then Sunday night we have American Sim Racing League, and I do not remember where they are running currently.
Las Vegas and Sonoma.
That's right.
We'll be live around 8:30ish, I think, or something like that. I'll have to look. I can't remember what time we go live for that.
Monday we will have no broadcast. Tuesday we would have the Unchained Racing League.
Only 2 races left.
Yeah, and where do they go?
Martinsville.
So that'll be another good race there.
Fun,
I believe they use the next gen car there,
yes.
so that'll be interesting
with
to see.
With some 5 gears, it's going to be very interesting. I don't think we'll even hit 5th gear. Roman just put a pass on Terry Dahl, by the way, moving himself up to 7th. Battle for the lead closing in a little bit here. About 5 tenths separating the 2.
Yeah, Paul Gibson has decided to try and push it a little, and he's definitely closed that gap to David Shutt. Also want to mention Terry Dahl now up to 8th, having a good run. Les Turner up to 10th.
That big wreck that happened changed this whole outcome of this race. I mean, there was literally multiple wrecks at different parts of the racetrack. We're coming up on lap 5 next time by, just to let you guys know. And already some multiple pit stops from 16th or 17th back have came down pit road. A few of them are multiple laps down, including, well, Mitch Heller not a lap down right now, but he's pretty far spaced out.
But meanwhile, a little bit further back, we got Joe Burchett running 5th, having a solid run so far in this one.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Joe. He's up 6 spots right now. Then even Justin Kirby's up a few spots here. Bill Paul Lucky may have just got around Kevin Kyle a second ago. Now here's a race, by the way. Never mind, that was not full position. I thought it was. Roman behind one of these lap cars that was involved earlier. Paul Gibson's still closing this gap up now. He's at, well, he was right at 410. So kind of loses a little bit right there in the corner.
Yeah, he's kind of maintaining almost in a way, but I will still not count Paul Gibson out.
No, you can't count really none of these guys out, especially if they're PG-13 or any of them really. Good to see Ross Booth back in here. It's been a few months, I think, since we really talked about Ross. Of course, he runs his own.
Yeah.
He's got his own Twitch channel as well. And a Real Zippy, I believe is the name of it. Pretty cool to see that. Is twitch.tv/TheReal_Zippy, in case anybody was wanting to know.
Paul Gibson still kind of maintaining that 0.5 of a second behind David Shutt.
Well, Todd, we got comments on YouTube. I don't even want to read them. Do I have to read them?
Are they bad ones?
For me. Cameron Bidwell says, what's up? I think Paul is stalking him. Brent Kirby says. And Miranda says Adam got beat by a girl in NASCAR.
Well, you did that on your.
No, I did not say nothing. Never played NASCAR again.
Why would you? That game is trash, anyways.
Never play with Miranda again on there. She did beat me. She wrecked me like 40 times, but she did beat me.
Well, that's how she beat you.
I'm going to pretend like that's actually what happened just to make myself feel better. But if I don't tell the truth, I'll get in trouble. So I'm just going to say that that's what happened. You know, it's not lying if that's what I say is what happened.
Right. Meanwhile, as I'm recovering from that, it's still a 4/10 of a second lead for David Shutt.
I hate
Ross
NASCAR
Booth
games.
about 4.3 seconds behind David Shutt.
So I seen that somebody with the last name is Kirby. Brett said it's Justin's brother. There's Justin. Let's take a ride. Let's get on board with Justin and take a ride because, you know, pretty cool to see you in here. Supporting your brother's pretty awesome, I'm not going to lie. Justin out there in that, I think he's running the Ford GT3, currently P4 right now. Doing a nice job actually looking at the lap times. That really
it looks pretty smooth.
See that. Here he comes to the start finish line, so we'll get a full lap run here with him.
Down into turn 1. Going to basically run from the outside and kind of cut the curb a little. Down to 2.
Really smooth through that corner. One thing you've got to be kind of careful for, Todd, even though these are the GT3s, wheel spin can be a big factor, and getting back on the throttle could be a big factor. If you get back on it too early, it can cause that back end to snap around very easily. Once you get a rhythm in these cars, it's kind of second nature. You don't really, you know where your limit is, honestly. That's one thing, honestly, Joe Chat taught me about driving these cars, and really the shifting in these cars is such a big thing too. And you kind of see it like you'll see some of these drivers go through these corners and even downshift in the center of the corner. That was something I wasn't used to. And Joe's basically said that's what these things are made for. Like, you can do that. It helps them turn better. And I learned that a lot by watching him, so we're continuing to watch Justin right now, seeing if he's done it. Right now, he's kind of just staying pretty smooth in the gears through these corners. He may not even downshift through none of these corners, but besides going in. Kind of did it right there a little bit, but down the second gear, back up.
Yeah, Joe, I know, has told me to do it that way too, but I could never get the rhythm down right. I'd always find myself looping it out of the corner.
Yeah, it can be tricky. Like, the way I learned, because Spa's a big track that we go to, and we go to that here in a couple weeks in here. That's where I learned. It varies, I guess, from track to track too. But that's where I really learned to do it, especially going up through El Rouge at Spa. That was the big part where I really learned how to do it.
Right.
No problem. We're definitely showing some more. I mean, he is having a great run right now. He's about a second, 1.3 back off Ross Booth. And I'm not very familiar with Justin because I know he's PG-13. That's the thing. Like, you know he's good if he's PG-13. Literally everybody that's in there is.
Right.
But with that said, he's also, right behind Ross Booth, who is a multiple-time champion in this series. And he's literally in third right now. And Justin, he looks like, honestly, he's closing in a little bit. Last time by 3 tenths faster. So that's something we'll just kind of keep an eye on as this race, kind of winds down. Once again, the biggest spot, Todd, we've talked about it, is going to be pit stops once that happens.
Right, and I mean, we're only working on lap 8 right now, but currently, when we started this race, it looked like it was only going to be 17. Now it's only going to be 18 laps for this one, and I could see some of these guys staying out till maybe lap 11, maybe even as long as lap 15.
You think 15? I think we'll see him before. Paul Gibson's on pit road.
Well, there you go.
Now, is he on pit road? No, he had an issue, Todd. He is not on pit road. Yeah, he may have blinked out.
You know what? You are right, because I still see Paul Gibson dropping down to 9th now.
Yeah,
and he's still...
replay of him right now, looking at him. Yeah, it looks like he may have lost connection. Oh,
man.
And if that's the case, that's going to change our top 3 quite a bit here. We'll wait and see. So it looks like it could be David Shutt now with a pretty comfortable lead over Ross Booth and Justin Kirby. And I mean, and Joe Burchett moves into 4th, Trent Brown. Everybody moves up one spot. But man, that you really don't want to see that, especially with Paul. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and I mean, he's one of them guys that normally has no issues up until this point.
This first time I've ever seen him, I think, drop connection, to be honest. Is he back? He's back.
He's back.
How did he stay connected that long?
I have no idea.
I've never seen nobody stay connected that long, though. And I mean, he's right on the back bumper shut still.
Wow.
Well, I mean, good. We don't want him to lose that spot by a connection issue, but I'm going to be honest, if that would have been me, I would have dropped out.
Oh, 100%. I mean, as we're sitting here watching this race, you know, I'm having my own connection issues right now, and I'm surprised that I haven't dropped a connection yet. Just sitting here watching. So, for him to be gone that long and to come back and still be that far behind David Shutt is beyond me.
Got some other YouTube comments. By the way, take a picture. Todd, go ahead and explain it while I get all that stuff up.
So if you're watching the broadcast tonight, go ahead, take a picture of you watching the broadcast, comment it on our or put it on our Twitter account. We will actually take the picture that you posted on Twitter account and bring it up onto the broadcast. We'll show you watching the broadcast, and we'll shout you out and all that other stuff. So it's pretty cool. We only started doing that probably for what?
A couple weeks.
Handful of weeks.
Yeah, we got a picture sitting in it. It was pretty neat. So Brent says the speed carry into the center of the corner has been tough. Cars are a bunch different. Cameron says sorry to miss the show. He's been traveling and just got back to the airport and he's headed home now. Have a safe trip, Brent says. So yeah, definitely have a safe trip.
Well, I mean, sounds like he's not jet lagged like I was earlier today. So I mean,
are you still jet lagged?
Yeah, still
A little
I can feel it.
Well, we did travel from where to here?
Was Homestead Miami Speedway to Barcelona. So I mean, it was a long ride. I will give you that.
As soon as we hop off the airplane, we're just in the broadcast booth.
Yep.
Didn't even have time to look at nothing. Biggest mover so far of the night, by the way, now it's Kevin Kyle. He's up 10 spots. By the way, I do want to mention Colin Weatherholt's night has come to an end. Big loss right there. Yeah.
Do want to mention Bill Paul Lucky, now in 12th. He's having a decent run tonight. We got Roman Bykov. I believe that's how you say his name. Correct me if I'm wrong. Good talk there, Chapman. He's up to 7th. But it is still David Shutt leading the field.
Just FYI, by the way. Christian McCaffrey is out for the rest of the game.
Okay. Did I cut out a little bit there?
No, sorry. I just want. Did you say that? I
did not see that, but I said something.
You said about it? I did not hear that actually. Maybe because I wasn't paying attention to you.
Probably. I was talking about. Who is that? Roman Bykov. Yeah. I believe that's how you say his name or whatever.
He's up 9 spots.
He's up to 7th. So.
Yeah, 9 spots right now. Paul Gibson closing the gap on, but yeah, Chris McCaffrey is out for the game, by the way.
What happened?
Oh, no, hamstring. So sorry, all the fantasy owners. Joe Burchett, who I believe has him, and his fantasy team probably about to drive straight into a wall. Pit road busy, Todd. Here they come.
Yep.
Boy, they
it's going to be interesting to see.
Whoa.
That
was interesting.
Be interesting to see how
Justin Kirby has had an issue on pit road, Todd.
Oh, no.
Yep. Here's your replay, if it backs it up enough.
Well, all of this is going to happen. It's actually going to give the lead, I believe, to Ross Booth from now. Or will it be Joe Burchett?
Here's Justin Kirby, by the way. Here's the replay of this. Oh, he was not coming down pit road.
Did he just get loose?
He got into, well, I really don't know, actually. It showed him on pit road a minute ago. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it.
Meanwhile, it is Ross Booth leading the field now.
So what happened was, it ain't going to show us the replay for some reason, Justin Kirby was coming down the pit lane and looked like he spun out and got wedged between the pit wall.
Oh.
Yep. Joe Burchett knows something about that. That happened to him a few times.
When did that happen?
When that happened to Joe?
Yeah.
A couple seasons ago it happened to him.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And here is Ross Booth out in the lead like Todd said. I just want to point this out. David Shutt, an 8.5 second total time in his box, 27.4 total time on pit lane, followed by Paul Gibson's 29.4 second total time in pit lane, 9.6 in the box. So, pretty long pit stop there, honestly, for Gibson. But here comes Ross Booth down pit lane this time, Todd.
Yeah, my game just kind of like froze at 18 frames per second.
There you go.
There it goes. There it goes. Now it's back. Yeah, as he comes down pit lane, gonna pop into
it's not
his
a game, by the way.
Install. Well, you know what I mean. I've lost my ATVO, by the way.
That's fine. Joe Burchett also on pit lane. Ross, we're going to watch right now. He's down and away. Pit lane time total. You guys can see it on the bottom screen. 26.9. Good stop there. Here's Joe Burchett. We'll watch him in that number 83 TI Automotive. A little slow out of the box right there, but we'll see how he does. 28 seconds. Oh, a little slow. 29.6. Definitely a little slow. I think he came out in the wrong gear, it looked like.
Maybe.
I'm not sure, but it looks like he's still going to be able to come out in fourth, maybe? Yes, he will still come out in P4.
Yep. And for most of you, I don't know if you've noticed so far yet, but there's a solid white line after the pit wall exit. There's a solid white line there on the track. Them guys cannot, basically go over that line until the end.
Yeah, so what happened to Brent, by the way, he missed a pit entry. So that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or not Brett, sorry, I said Brett. Brett commented and said that is what happened to Justin.
Okay. But meanwhile, it is David Shutt back on the top of the board here, leading by 2 seconds now over Paul Gibson, and that was product of the pit stops that they had.
So you're watching right now, Chris Shieldsmith. What was it, Todd? 2.2 seconds. Paul Gibson, David Shutt, the separation. I mean, honestly, this is David Shutt's race to lose.
Oh,
now
100%.
with 2.1 seconds separating the two, and we're coming to lap 14. We still got 7 minutes left in this one. Actually, everybody through the fields either they're spaced out by quite a bit. Everybody's over a second right now, spaced out.
Yeah, I mean, you got, like you said, 2.1, now 2.2 to Paul Gibson. You got 6.9 seconds between David Shutt and Ross Booth. 19.4 seconds back to Joe Burchett from David Shutt. So, I mean, I don't think Joe's going to have enough time to kind of catch them, but he may have a chance at Ross Booth, depending on how Ross does here.
Yeah, Ross is going to have to make a mistake, I feel like. It's going to be tough, honestly, for that to happen. I think Ross pretty good. Les Turner is who we're watching right now. He's up to 9th. Showing him. Well, just looking through the field, kind of showing some different guys here. Chris Shieldsmith exiting pit road. There's Scott Hustad back here as well. That's somewhat of a battle. Chris Shieldsmith, Kevin Kyle, and now Scott Hustad joining that for 11th.
Mark Wilson has now gotten past Mitch Heller.
Yeah, Mitch Heller on pit road, by the way. Of course, remember, this is his official pit stop because he came down pit road one time before when he got involved in that early wreck.
Right.
So everything is spaced out quite a bit as we watch David Shutt. Let's get a ride on board with the driver the pin car.
Now, I'm not going to lie, that car looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the purple. Using all them track limits on this one. What do you think of Barcelona so far, Todd?
Well, it's a long track, that's for sure. But so far, man, I mean, other than the one wreck that we had at the beginning of the race, man, it's been a pretty good one so far.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people like the wrecks and stuff. And road racing, like, I get excited about the wrecks at Oval. And road racing, I'm not a big fan of them because I like seeing the close competitiveness of it.
Right.
Things get spaced out usually on the road anyway. That's why I like the last week's race so much. When we have them real close finishes in road, it's always something special to see.
Right, because you don't normally see that. I mean,
Yeah.
you see some of these races finish, with the gap between first and second, kind of like you see the gap between David Shutt and Joe Burchett right now being like 20 seconds. It just depends on how the race plays out and how pit stalls go.
What happened today? Never mind. He blinked for a minute. He's back now. Roman, by the way, closing the gap here on 5th. Trent Brown trying to hold on to 5th right now, but Roman has been closing in the last few laps. Last time by, Roman was definitely a little bit slower. Trent was a little bit slower, I'm sorry. Chris Shillsmith, by the way, just overtook Kevin Kyle for 11th. As we continue to watch Roman here try to run down Trent Brown in that 7 car. This is happening in about 6 seconds, by the way. Looks like Nikhil just overtook Terry Dahl for 7th. Coming to 2 laps to go next time by at the stripe for the race leaders. And we will jump up to them right now.
Yeah, I'm still kind of watching Roman trying to catch Trent Brown here. Going down on a turn 1. And there you go. I'm blinking still.
Here's Roman once again. Still a little bit of a gap, about 7/10 separating the two. As we jump back up now to David Shutt as he works through the final corner, looking for 2 laps to go this time. Followed by Paul Gibson, Ross Booth, Joe Burchett, Trent Brown, Roman. Closing in a little bit right there. Roman pushed really hard right there in that corner. Pushed in pretty deep on that one. Did close the gap up quite a bit. Actually closed in about 10th by doing that.
Yeah, David Shutt's been doing a really good job tonight, keeping his car basically between the rumble strips or turtles, whatever you want to call them, here on this track. As he comes out of the final turn to the start-finish line.
2 laps to go.
Well, mine's saying on lap 17 of 17.
Yeah, I think mine has not updated yet on the ticker, but I believe you are going to be maybe right. We'll wait and see. We'll confirm that here in just a moment. Sometimes the ATVO thing takes a second to catch up with time breaking. I think it all depends when he gets back. No, this is going to go one more lap, Todd.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll go one more lap because we're just now at 140 still left for the race.
The gap has kind of closed between David Shutt and Paul Gibson, but I don't think Paul's got enough time to do anything with David Shutt.
David's coming up on some black cars, which could cut down a little bit on this lead. And this is a great shot right on board Paul Gibson on the nose of the car. Back on the throttle pretty early. Yeah, he's definitely pushing pretty hard right now. And down through the gears.
Now got David Shutt with some traffic ahead of him. We got I believe this is the final. No, this will not be the final corner.
Yeah, coming through it right now.
Yep. Coming through the final corner to the start-finish line to see the white flag is David Shutt here at Barcelona.
Paul did cut down a little bit on that, by the way. He was down to 1.2 seconds. But, once again, There's a car separating the two right now, which is David's best friend. And yeah, Paul having a little bit of trouble getting around that lap car, it looks like. And actually lost a little bit. He's lost about 4 tenths trying to get around that lap car. So everything else behind these guys is spaced out quite a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think Joe Burchett's going to be able to catch the 6 of Ross Booth. You know, so I mean, all these guys running in the top 5 are going to have some pretty solid finishes tonight.
Yeah, really good finishes. Going to be Kevin Kyle at the moment. We will confirm that once this race is finished, Todd. But here we go. David Shutt looking for the final corner. Todd, bring it home.
David Shutt will be coming through the gears here momentarily.
I literally thought we was at the final corner.
No, I believe this is the third to last.
I know where I'm at.
He's going to have a right-hander here. And then he's going to have another right-hander coming up right about right here. And then he's going to have another one out of the final corner here at Barcelona. It will be David Shutt bringing up the win.
Paul Gibson going to finish speed too. We will wait here momentarily for Ross Booth as he comes out of the final quarter this time. Ross Booth is going to finish P number 3 here for your podium. And then not last, but 4th place, the Mercedes. How about the Mercedes? I believe the highest ranked Mercedes is going to cross the start-finish line here in P4. Joe Burchett brings home 4th.
Yeah, and like I had mentioned earlier, it's going to be interesting to see if any of these guys having any issues coming back to pit road, as they got to go all the way around this track without running out of fuel to not get a penalty.
Yeah, that's something to kind of watch David Shutt here, by the way, Todd, because he took a little bit less fuel than, these other guys. Todd, I'm going to hop over to the Red Sox booth. You coming over there?
Yeah, I will come over there as well.
Cool. All right, so we will get ready to do our post-race interviews here in just a moment here for the Red Sox Racing Series as we watch David Shutt try to make it around. He's out of gas. Oh, my goodness. Well, Todd, David Shutt is out of gas. You got me?
Yeah, I've got you.
Yep, David is out of gas. He's actually here. He's got a little bit left right now, but he is shutting it off. I believe Paul Gibson's the same way.
That could be a big thing here.
Joe Burchett going to go between them. Joe said, I took enough gas, don't mind me.
Yep.
And it looks like these guys are going to be very close to making it to pit road. I don't know.
I don't know if they'll make it. I mean, this is that area where we were talking. There's 3 right-handers after this left-hander.
This is where it gets interesting watching this area of the race. Looks like Paul Gibson should have enough to make it.
He should, yes.
I mean, you would think. Well, so here, David Shutt made it.
Yep.
And Gibson's going to make it as well. Very good. Now, Ross Booth, I believe he should be able to make it here as well. Yeah, he's going to have enough to make it for sure. All right, so that's going to allow us to get ready to do some interviews here. We'll wait for some drivers to move in here. We'll talk to our 3 podium drivers as David Shutt puts it in victory lane here at Barcelona. First win of the season for him. First win in a while, actually, for him. But either way, we wait for some interviews, guys, to move in. We'll just wait here for just a moment. Top pretty good race over all in all.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some guys run a really flawless race, and but I mean, some of these guys that we thought were going to be heavy hitters going into this one were caught up into that lap 1, turn 1 wreck that, it took out Mitch Heller, some other good ones as well that didn't have really good finishes. So tough break for them guys, but all in all, it was a really good, solid race.
I agree completely. So we are sitting here waiting for some interviews to come in. Once again, David Shutt, Paul Gibson, Ross Booth. Hopefully, get them interviewed. Um, hopefully, any second now. I don't really. Well, Paul Gibson just left, so we may not be doing any interviews at all, Todd. We'll wait here for just a moment, but Paul just connected back, so hopefully he is good. Hopefully, we'll be able to hear him. As Paul Gibson's going to be joining us now in the booth, finishing P2. Paul, you got a copy?
Yep, I'm here.
P2 finish, man. All in all, another good run for PG-13. Kind of opposite of last week, but still second place.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I probably didn't have enough to catch David there at the end, and I was watching my fuel, and he was too. And we both ran out at the top of the hill on the cool down lap and coasted into the pit. Yeah, it was real close. Yeah. And so I just not quite enough to beat him today. I think my pace might have just been a tick quicker, but it wasn't nearly enough to make up for his faster pit stop. So
yeah, pretty crazy.
That was good. That was fun.
Pretty crazy start to this race. Multiple cars, probably one of the biggest races we've seen in a long time in this series. But talk about racing this track, man. It's a tough one, but it is a fast one.
It is. It's tough and fast, and it's a lot of this track is like just cut as much distance out of the course as you can. So like that big long-handed righty sweeper up the hill, and then those couple corners after that where they're just long extended corners, just cutting down distance is the best thing you can do.
I agree, man.
So,
well, shout out to all that you want to give out here tonight?
Yeah. Congrats to David. I think that's his first win is part of PG-13. So big congrats to him. And that'll be a really good point stay for both of us. I think we caught up to Colin a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
So. Yep. Yeah. There were we started the race. I look over to my right, and there's like 3 cars over there. I'm like, how did they get that start? Somehow I just kind of hung on to the outside and made it. I'll have to go back and look at the replay and see what happened because I didn't see any of it, but it looked pretty wild.
For sure. Hey, good job tonight, man.
Yep. All right. Yep. Thanks.
Next up, we're going to talk to Ross Booth before we bring in our winner. Ross, good to have you back in here and back on the podium here, multiple-time champion. How did tonight's race go for you?
It went okay. Corner 1, lap 1 was interesting. And then after that, David and Paul just were on another planet tonight, and I was sort of best of the rest, I guess you could say, but I had a lot of fun.
You drove the Ferrari, which is the only Ferrari it looks like inside the top 5. Was that just, did you test here with that car? Is that just something you just wanted to drive? How did it drive compared, do you think? Did you have the speed these other ones have, or was it something else?
I was very unprepared for tonight, so I got in the car that I felt most comfortable with. Obviously, the fast guys didn't like the Ferrari, or they would have been in it. So.
Well, either way, man, it's good to see you back in here because I know you haven't raced a ton with everything going on and all that good stuff. But still, a third-place finish, dude. That's got to feel nice. Shout-outs and all that you want to give?
Yeah, just shout-out to everyone that keeps coming back every single race. 26 again. That's awesome to see in the league. And shout-out to Terry and Les for always putting this together, and then thanks to you guys for always putting on a heck of a show.
For sure. You didn't stream tonight, did you?
No, I wasn't feeling up to it.
I got you. Hey, good job, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Next up, it is going to be our race winner picking up his first win this season. First win in the PG-13 car as well. David Shutt, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
From start to finish, man, you was out front. It got really interesting, especially at the first couple laps. But talk us through that one. That one looked like it was a pretty good race for you overall.
Yeah, it was pretty uneventful there, at least for the first half. I just heard that there was a big wreck in the back, and I just kept on going. Luckily, I was out all by myself in front, so I didn't have to worry about that. Just cut a little close on fuel. That's the only thing I wish I had maybe taken a little bit more. But yeah, it went better than I thought it would, to be honest.
Talk about driving the Ford, because I just talked to Ross about his choice to drive the Ferrari. Talk about your choice to drive the Ford tonight.
Yeah, I had no plans on racing the Ford, at least the first couple of practices we did. I was leaning between the Porsche and the BMW. And then I just ran a lap in the Ford for fun, just to see what it was like. And it turned out to be way faster than I was running in the other cars. So, yeah, it was really good here. Felt you could control the car on exit a lot more. Don't have to worry about the aero push. We're able to control it. And it's always obviously a lot nicer to be out in front because it's not as bad. But, yeah, went for the 4 GT. Didn't expect that one.
For sure. Hockenheimring next week, man. What's your thoughts heading there?
Man, I've ran a lot of that track recently. I'm not a fan, but we'll see what happens.
For sure. Shout out to all that, dude.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody at PG-13, you guys for broadcasting, and all the viewers.
Hey, good job, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, Todd Chase. We kind of hit on it a minute ago, but overall, not a bad race.
No, it was a pretty solid race in my book. The first race I've seen here at Barcelona, and hopefully we can keep having these good races throughout this season. You know, I mean, the racing here in this league has always been this good.
Yeah.
You know, but normally we have no issues with these guys. But
Yeah.
I do believe part of that wreck at the beginning of the race here did play a factor into some of these guys, like I said before, not having good finishes, and ultimately it was the top guys that were on the top of the board were able to stay on top of the board tonight.
Speaking of that, I think a lot of guys knew that it'd be tough to pass here. That's why you've seen some really early 3 wide as soon as the green flag dropped or came out. So that could be some of it too. But that'll do it. Todd, you got anything else you wanted to say?
Nope, just other than getting back on a virtual plane.
We're into Michigan now. We went to the United States, to Spain, from Florida to Spain, back to Michigan. So Todd's going back home finally.
Finally.
Y'all have a great night. Take care as always. And for Adam and Todd, God bless.